Hi guys, welcome back to the garage. It is Friday. Oh, here I go. Trying to make sure that my volume is up so everybody can hear me, because the last time I did this, the volume was all the way off and you couldn't hear me. So, hi. Okay, it is Friday. Yay! And I have a show to go to tonight. I'm going to see Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap. So I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I got some videos I want to do. So my first video here is going to be about my January favorites, what I worked with in January, and what I'm going to work with in February. And then the big question, my nickname, Jeff. Yes, I did not think that was going to cause as much of a stir as it did, but it did, and now I'm going to explain it to you. So, but first, I'm going to make you wait for it. So, January favorites. So, what I worked with in January was, see my cute little owls and foxes. Paulina's Spirit Song Tarot. Loved it. I think very sweet and gentle messages. It gives you a little kind of nudge if you need it. But it's not in your face harsh. So I loved this deck. And then I was working also with the Animal Totem Tarot. That's another one I worked with a lot. Love it. Love it. Very straight to the point. Didn't cut any corners. It wasn't like in your face harsh, but it was like practical. It was practical information. It's like, no, that's not going to work for you. Yes, you might want to do this. You might want to do that kind of thing. So those were really great. I worked with the Zukar Bone Oracle deck. Not too much on this one. I did a little bit, but I really wasn't called to use it that much. So there's that. And then of course in my lovely dream catcher here that I found at the dollar store is my Shaman's Oracle. This thing packs a pretty powerful punch, and so I think I maybe used it twice the entire month, simply because the messages were enough that you needed to kind of percolate on them for a bit. So this is the Shaman's Oracle. Yeah. So there's that. And then I got one more, if I can get it. Okay. So the other one is the Spirit of the Wheel. And I also used this one only a couple of times this month, because again, this is another powerful deck that really packs a punch. I think it's in a gentle way. None of the decks that I worked with this month were really in your face kind of thing. It would give you a hard nudge with its nose, but yeah, that's about it. So those are all the decks I worked with in January. What did I do? 1, 2. Oh, I forgot one. Where is it? Ah, I forgot a couple, actually. Okay. Spirit Within. Stephen's Tarot. This is a great deck. This is in your face to the point. Make no bones about it kind of a deck. And so I really loved working with this deck in January. It was great. I used it a lot. I love the imagery and the shadows and the colors, and it's a great deck. It's difficult to shuffle. because the lamination is really laminated, and you do tend to get chunks of cards that stick together. So you really have to work at it, and it's not a good riffle shuffler, I've discovered. So I think the cardstock's too thick, but that's okay. I mean, I still absolutely love this deck because, like I said, this one is in your face. It's like, no, you're not, you're not getting around it. You know, this was one of those where I got an answer that I didn't want, and so I shuffled the cards and I pulled the cards again, and it basically said, why are you asking me the same damn question? So yeah, this deck does not play around. And then on the other hand, I also used Love Your Inner Goddess deck. Alana Fairchild. I love Alana Fairchild. She's very soft, and most of her decks are very soft, the ones I've used anyway. And this is definitely a very soft, loving, take care of yourself kind of hug deck. So, and this was just a kind of a nice thing to see in the morning when I would get up. I'd go to work, and while I was, you know, booting up my machine and stuff, I would have a shuffle, and I would pull a card every morning before my day actually started at work. And yeah, it was great. I mean, I love these. If you need a hug, this is a great deck for giving a hug. So that's the catch up on all my decks for January. How many was that, come to think of it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was only 7 decks. But as I said, a couple of those decks, you know, I only pulled cards like twice in the month because they were powerful enough messages that you really didn't need to use them a lot to get the message. So that was pretty cool. All right, so moving on for February, the decks I have decided to work with are my number 1 deck, and I just got this cute little box, and I keep my new cards in here, is this one. Yes. I have been working with the Sherlock Holmes deck, and I am absolutely loving these cards. Just loving these cards. Now, it is a different, it's tarot, but the way they go about the suits is a little bit different, so I'm still kind of getting used to that and working with the book, but love this, love this. So I've been having a whole lot of fun with this deck. I also want to work with this deck, the Anima Monday Tarot, because I just got that not long ago, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, obviously, look at the gold gilded edges. It is Pippish, so that's good because I'm still working with Tom Benjamin's book, Tarot on Earth. So that's still an ongoing project. So I'm going to appreciate working with these cards. And of course, my animals are still close. They're not all-encompassing as they were in earlier months, but they're still very close. Very close. So I have my Anima Monday. And then as an oracle deck, I want to work with these, the Native American Oracle cards. I just got these as well. Haven't had much of a chance to work with them, but I'm looking forward to it. Probably a daily pull, I'm figuring. We'll see how it goes with these, but they're beautiful, beautiful cards, and so I'm looking forward to connecting with these. also, and I already have it at work, is the Untamed Truth Oracle. I did an unboxing, I think it was a week or so ago. I have that one at work, and I've been pulling cards for the last probably 2 or 3 days from that deck. Really like it. Really, really like it. And then lastly, I have the, almost dropped them, the Sacred Path cards and my my medicine cards in here. I think I'm going to keep both of them in the bag together because these are 2 decks that are meant to work together. They were created by the same people, and so even though the imagery is different, the card size and the card colors are still pretty close together. So this is the Sacred Path cards, and I love my I just dropped my piece of turquoise. I have a piece of turquoise with my medicine cards. I don't always keep a stone with my cards, but some just felt like they needed it. So here is the, here we go. So we got the Sacred Life Path cards, and then we have the medicine cards. There we go. And so here's what the animal medicine cards look like. And again, they're not quite the same color, but they're the same size, and I think they do complement each other. So there, those are my cards that I'm going to work with this month, I hope. And yeah, so I have some books that I'm working on. I didn't bring them out here. I probably should have, but I've got so much stuff on this table now you wouldn't believe it. Anyways, of course, Tom Benjamin's Tarot on Earth I'm still working on. And then I have Sasha Graham's book, 365 Spreads, creating daily tarot ritual, as well as her 365 tarot spells book. I'm going to do a separate video on those 2 books because those are fantastic, really fantastic. I also forgot one other one. I'm going to try and work with the Fairy Tarot. I've had this one now for just dropping stuff left and right. I'm a butterfingers, what can I say? Especially since I don't have a whole lot of room on this table. But I haven't used these cards, and I want to. I want to get in and work with the fairies. It just kind of called to me. So that's the other deck I'm going to work with. Okay, so there are my deck selections for the next month. Wish me luck. I know it's quite the conglomeration. You know, I have Sherlock Holmes, I have fairies, I have Native Americans, and I have animals. Quite the eclectic collection, yeah. Okay. It's a helter-skelter month. Okay, so the last part of the video, the part you've all been waiting for. How did I get my nickname? Okay, so the only people who call me Jeff are my family. And my mom's side of the family is especially creative. They are the more creative side of the family. Her dad had his own big band and would sometimes jam with Glenn Miller. My mother's brothers and sisters had their own band for over 40 years, and they played everything from, they started out with heavy metal in the late 60s and 70s, to country, to pop, to rock. I mean, they played it all, And so my family was quite creative, and their creativeness was in coming up with, um, they created their own words. They would create their own words. They would, and everybody had a nickname. You were not a part of the family unless you had a nickname. Now, my mother's nickname was Sherry the Cheesebox Mouset. We have no idea. These were all handed out, by the way, by my grandfather, my mother's dad. My mother's dad handed out all these nicknames. So, yeah, my mom was Sherry the Cheese Box, or Sherry's the Swiss Box Cheese Mouset, something along those lines. Hers was really hard. My aunt, my mother's sister, she was Seeker Nichols. Seeker Nichols. My uncle, whose name was Jim, his was Jim by Jitty Bo Sticks. Where do they come up with this, right? And then my uncle Alan, whose actual, we called him Alan, which was his middle name, but his first name was Gary, and so we call him Froggy with a G. That was the nickname. So apparently, as the story goes, my when I was born, my grandfather took one look at me and said, "Jennifer is too long for such a tiny baby," and they cut it down to Jeff. So that's been my nickname for 53 years. It's Jeff. Except my mother did make it worse. Because when I was probably 8 or 9 or something, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a dunker. I like dunking things in, like milk and coffee. And so she used to call me the donut dunker because I would dunk donuts. And then it somehow came down to Dieter's the donut dunker, and then just shortened it to Dieters. And so, and yes, Dieters is actually spelled Deters, as in Dieters, but they pronounced it Dieters. So there, now you have my family secret. For most of my life, I would never answer to Jennifer or Jen, because I didn't recognize it, especially when I first started working when I was 18. Literally, people had to come up behind me and tap me on the shoulder because it wasn't a recognizable thing to me. But if somebody hollered Jeff, I would be the first one to turn around. So, yeah. So now you know the secret. And yes, you are all free to call me Jeff if you wish. It's all good. It's all good. One thing I ask though, do not call me Jenny, because if you look up Jenny in the dictionary, I learned this years ago. If you look up Jenny in the dictionary, a Jenny is an old mule. Don't call me an old mule. So, there you go, guys. Now you have the story. And before I go, how about get another Poopies? Let's see what Poopies we got in this one. Yes, I had a couple more. How about that? Let's see what we get off this toilet roll. What do you guys think, huh? Perfect way to end this. All right. Let's see. Ooh, it's stuck. It's always me, isn't it? I'm stuck on the toilet paper. Oh, gosh. It says unroll here, but it sure doesn't make it easy. There we go. There we go. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen, here's our little roll of toilet paper. So behind these two doors, we have some Poopies. So let's see what's behind door number 1. Oh, I have no nails. All my nails have broken, so. Woo. Oh, we got a different dude. Oh, that's cool. All right. He dope. He dope. Look at him. Which one of the ones we got here? Oh, this is Dumpling. We got Dumpling. Alright, so we got Dumpling in there. Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to come up with a curio cabinet out here or something for these. Oh, heavens, the Murgatroyd. She looks like a mean one. Oh, this is Pooper Man. Look at that, Pooper Man. Alrighty then. So we got Pooper Man and Dumpling. I shouldn't have closed that door. Here we go. Alright, folks. Pooper Man and Dumpling. There you go. I got one more roll of toilet paper, so we'll see what this gets us. Alright guys, have a great weekend. I'll be back with more videos probably tomorrow. I got a tag I want to do, and so much love, and I'll see you next time.